Engineering 132, Section 7, Team 16. I'm Adam.
And I'm Emma. We've created a graphical user interface in MATLAB.
Our program is designed to help first-year engineering students manage the time they spend with their team.
Now, because first-year engineering students work on teams, they need to have exceptional time management skills so they can get all of their work done. So we've created a mathematical model and some other tools that can help them with their team meetings so that they'll run more smoothly.
This is our navigation map for our GUI, which focuses on time management. When you first open up the GUI, you'll be brought to the opening screen, where you can choose to go to the citations page, the next screen, or to exit the program, which is an option you have on every single screen. If you choose to go to the next screen, you'll be brought to the user input screen, where you can enter your schedule. Then, next, you'll be brought to a page that displays the schedule that you just entered. From there, you'll be brought to the sleep calculator, which will suggest a time for you to go to bed based on when your first classes are. After that, you'll be brought to a screen where you can enter tasks that will be finished at your next meeting, and then you can email those tasks to all of your teammates. Lastly, you'll be brought to a user feedback page where you can help us improve our GUI. Finally, you'll reach the closing screen, which is simply at the end of our GUI.
Here is the flowchart for the user input screen. First, there are if statements to check if the user clicked on the toggle buttons, which represent when they head to class. If so, the callback of these toggle buttons determines the row and column of the schedule matrix instead of 1. Then there is this loop that sets time after class time to 2, which represents study time. A similar loop runs afterwards to remove the study time after the last class. Next, the user selects the day they have engineering class. A loop then sets hours on the day before to 4, representing team meeting. Finally, a loop sets hours after class is over to 3, for time the user selects to save for activities. Then the user can navigate to the next screen using the push buttons. Here is the flowchart of the sleep calculator. When the user is on the screen, this GUI stores which values the user chooses on the drop-down menu, which is how many hours it takes them to get ready in the morning. And then this GUI checks if the user clicked on the day of the week. If so, it computes the recommended bedtime for that day and displays the bedtime results for the users. Other than that, these screens have other standard navigation buttons.
Okay, so here is a simple flowchart for the user feedback GUI. Basically, the user answers 4 questions using radio buttons, which turn off the corresponding radio buttons, and saves their response as a string. This process is repeated for each of the 4 questions that the user is asked. There's also an edit box for the user to add their own text to give their own written responses to help us make the GUI better. And that is also stored as a string, which after the user clicks a submit button, all their responses are sent to us by email. Here is the code for sending the email, and we receive that, and we can use their feedback to help improve the GUI for future users. Other than that, this page just contains basic navigation options. So here's our GUI. The program can be started by typing its name into the command window. Here's the opening page where the user can visit the citations page and see where the information for the GUI came from. There they can navigate back to the home page. Here they can start using the program. The first page is the user input page where the user can select toggle buttons to enter their schedule. Next, they can select which days of the week they have engineering. Finally, they can select how many hours each day they want to set aside for just plain activities. They can move on to the next page, where the scheduling widget is pulled up, which basically gives them a visual representation of their schedule. It also shows times when we recommend that their engineering team should meet in order to get all their work done. It also recommends some time during the day that the user should spend studying. And as you can see here, the hours they've set aside for activities. Moving on to the next page, you can see the sleep calculator. Basically, the user can select how long it takes them to get ready in the morning. And by clicking on the day of the week, it will tell the user which time, either on the previous night or early morning of, that the user should go to bed in order to get enough sleep for optimum performance and ultimately optimize their team performance. If the user needs an extra hour to get ready in the morning, as you can see, they will need to go to bed an hour earlier. So this is the sleep calculator. Next, the user can make a plan for their next team meeting. They start by entering the date of their next team meeting. Then the user can enter the email addresses of their 4 team members. After that, they can input their name. And next, they use the task generator to create a list of tasks that they want to complete at their next meeting. They start by typing in the task. Then they select the day that the task is due. Then they click the Submit Task button. They can enter up to 10 tasks that they want to complete at their next meeting. After the user is done entering tasks, they can click the Send Email button. This sends their list of tasks as an email to all the members of their team. Finally, the user reaches the user feedback page. Here they select radio buttons to answer questions about their experience using our program. They can also give a written response to let us know any more information. When they're done, they can click the Submit Responses, and their responses to our questions are sent to our team's email, which we can use to better improve our GUI for future users. Now, to prevent them from spamming our inbox, we limit the number of emails that they can send to us to 1 per time they use the program. And that is our GUI. And at any time during GUI, the user has the option to quit using the GUI by pressing the Exit button.
Here you can see the email that was sent by our GUI, and as you can see that it contains all the tasks that were entered into the task generator and the dates. It also has the user's name, and it was sent to all the members of the user's engineering team. Finally, you can see that fyeTimeManagement@gmail.com, our team's email address, has one email in the inbox, and that is, as you can see in the subject line, the user feedback from the user of our GUI. And you can see in the email it contains the responses that the user gave to the questions they were asked, as well as the written response they gave. Their name is not tied to the email, so we do not know where the feedback comes from. We just know that it's an anonymous user of our GUI.